Welcome all to the next installment of the Dave DeWash Show. Big topic for me personally. I've been focusing a lot on kids, the family, lately. Out of requirement, out of the time, out of where we are right now, out of events. And you've seen some of that. My 14-year-old, now 15, my 17-year-old, soon to be 18. What they do, why they do it. I flew out to California for my daughter's 16th birthday and saw her. Out to California, out to LA. There's a new show out on HBO. It's an HBO series. And this is not unusual. Game of Thrones, or Breaking Bad, or Californication, or Weed, or pick any of these Netflix, HBO, Showtime series. They are massive in nature. Some of them are sci-fi, like Westworld. Some of them are not. Some of them are, drama or crime or, passion or extreme, sci-fi. Game of Thrones. And they're period pieces, and they tie to a lot of stuff. And people, it's entertainment. That's what this is. It's creative entertainment from a cinematography standpoint and from a potential storyline. Though the storylines are often, they're relatively okay. They're good. They've got some, ebbs and flows to them. They've got some surprise plots and such. But they have to appeal to the masses. The masses. If these shows don't hit specific target numbers, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, Hollywood, major cinema, the major production houses, your major networks, all of this is driven by one goal: the almighty dollar. That's it. That's all it is. This tube has turned into the almighty dollar. That's it. That's why you have people that are broadcasters that report topics, news, and they're multi-millionaires or more. You have Hollywood actors that are billionaires or more. You have YouTubers and media personalities that are billionaires. It's out of control. It focuses on this device. It focuses on this device. Any type of streaming device to provide you entertainment for money. That's it. That's it. And because of that, this industry draws a huge attention group of people that are the full spectrum, but those that rise to the top are at the top of the bell curve. They're the smartest, the hardest working, the most creative, the most driven, the most capable, financially savvy, the most. And a complete science is applied to this, and that trickles down to us and to our children. And this new HBO series, Euphoria, which I've seen all over television, I've seen it all over TV, I've seen it all over media. It's being touted as the next coming-of-age teen series. And it's got this gal, Zendaya is her name. She's a child actor from Disney. You've seen her around. She's been in Spider-Man. She's been in Disney series, TV shows. She's ethnically mixed. She's very, very pretty. She's very, very smart. She's very skinny. She's very skilled as an actress. She comes across really good, really real. And they can tone her down. They can dress her up. She can look pretty. She can look plain. She's very, very adept and versatile. She plays multiple roles. And now she's 22 years old, and she plays a 15-year-old in this series called Euphoria. And it is a Sam Levin special. So here's the angle. Hollywood produces these things for one reason: for money. And the individuals that they engage to produce them produce, executive produce, screenwrite, film, design, all of those aspects, translating it from an idea into a show, right? They find the best and the brightest to do all this, which is why you're seeing so many series that are exceptional. And with the advent of this thing and computers, they no longer need reality. They can create reality. So they take reality ideas, and with the best and the brightest, they create a fantasy so that we watch and we're entertained, right? Dragons in Game of Thrones with, gorgeous men, gorgeous women, empires, swords and combat, in lurid sex and heated and adultery and intrigue and secrecy. And dude, while that exists in life, it's fantasy, the shit that these ass clowns create. If you take all of that and you distill it down to us, it turns into reality TV. It's Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It's the E! Network. It's Big Brother. It's Survivor Island. It's anything that Andy Cohen does. The Real Housewives. Have you watched any of those shows? For a moment, they might be mildly entertaining, but you really capture the simplicity, the ignorance, and the baseness of humanity. You capture it. They capture it. And here's the other weird part. Often, what you see is edited and it's scripted. Edited and scripted. Because if it weren't for Vanderpump Rules, it would fucking be boring tripe. And we wouldn't watch it. So they film tons of potential events where they provide impairment to individuals in age groups and demographics and regions and affluency classes. They film it all and then they edit it up to this exciting, awesome reality. And it's the furthest thing from real. And everybody watches it, and everybody eats it up, and everybody wants it. And it's lies for money. That's it. And what do you think that does to our kids? So this Euphoria is a coming of age with teenagers, and this Zendaya plays this child that was born into tragedy, and she's a 15-year-old. And the first episode starts out with her suicide attempt. Tries to kill herself. What coming of age did you experience? Did we experience where suicide was, relatively normal? I mean, it happens. It's all over Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and it's just a part of life. And then cyberbullying and bullying in general, and then, that's what happens. This is the total degradation of our societal structure in regards to ethics, morals, expectations, achievement, life. These shows are destructive, but it's being touted as I don't know. This one is not like, and this is not alone. This is the newest installment, and it is the most extreme. As I stated, the first episode opens up in Zendaya. Her name is Rue in this, and she's 15 years old. Tries to kill herself. And then there's some sex party. And of course, this is an hour long or what have you. So there's a sex party. And within a brief period, they show 30 different dick pictures. 30 different dicks are portrayed on the HBO television screen, tablet, phone screen. And I don't remember when I don't know, it slowly turned to this gratuitous garbage around beauty, sex, drugs and impairment, fun, entertainment, and complete upheaval of any structure. This show has multiple episodes. I think they showed the first 4, and there's a season with 8 episodes. And it is either on HBO now or it's coming on. It's being touted as cinematically unreal and vibrant and powerful and creative. Sam Levinson, I don't know who wrote the scripts for this, I apologize. I told you earlier, they bring the best and the brightest. And it's a challenge to a screenwriter to take modern living, amp it into some warped, some fucking broken reality that's intriguing and exciting and just fueled with interactions and activities and these events, and they glorify all the wrong things, and then they throw in a snippet of morality, like this Rue goes to AA or some kind of abuse counseling or something, and then there's this reality with lesson, and then wham, they throw another 35 minutes in where she's continually impaired, always on ingested, snorted, smoked, injected drugs, and they do these cinematography techniques where she's impaired in the vision and the hearing and the sound, and the experience is warped so that like you're on acid. I guess? I don't know what world that's in where that's glorified. I'm sure there's a lot of people doing it. They're not doing it so that they show up like these people on these screens and then just having gratuitous sex, having these individuals that they're just floating through life on, and they're totally removing themselves. They're totally impairing their reality so that they can cope. It's not really like that at all. My brother has drug problems. That wasn't his world. He got stuck in that world, and these idiotic shows can't explain why. All they try to do is show it in some interesting, creative, visually stimulating, wonderful way. And it's crap. It's all fucking lies. And while you go to you go to a palm reader or a voodoo teller or some mystic, and they can give you snippets, generic snippets that you'll relate to, because we're human. Just like in these shows. A kid that smokes weed, a kid that drinks, a kid that, knew someone that attempted suicide, is in a broken home, is a single-parented child, is a latchkey, is, whatever, is abused, can relate to some of this, and therefore finds a connection and gets drawn into this fucking noise of horrible reality and, whatever message they're trying to tell. And now these kids see this world, and of course, they're drawn to this world. And why wouldn't you do it on your own? Go out in the woods and smoke with your friends, and have your clique, and have your homies, and have, whatever that you're hanging out with. And none of that's real. Nobody's successful with this. Dude, the 6 rappers that roll this way, they're there for a moment, and then they're gone. And for some reason, Jay-Z, and I don't know, all these guys, whomever, they don't tell you the reality, because they can't tell you the reality. They actually live clean lives. They eat well. They don't use drugs. You can't do that to be a functioning adult. And there's no coming of age where you learn that. Most people never escape that lifestyle. They overdose, they're stuck in it, they live that way forever. There's no glory, there's no intrigue, it's fucking hell. Go down to Riviera Beach where I'm at, go to any broken joint anywhere in this country where people are shooting up heroin because they can't afford cool drugs. And they don't have families with money and access to nice houses, nice clothes, people that can provide. They live on the street and they burn through their resources, and they have children they don't manage, and they shoot up and pass out in their cars, potentially OD. That's the reality. When they glorify this shit, what are you doing? And I don't get it. And they get worse and worse. They're more and more graphic. They're more and more sexual. They feed on the things that we will find interesting because it has to make money. And it's fucking disgusting. And I don't know who's managing it. And it's gotten worse. Right? This isn't for adults. This is about kids, teens. Who the fuck allows this? Who thinks this is real? Who thinks this is creative? Right? And I get it. Censorship doesn't occur in this country. But it's sad when people latch onto this and they're so excited and they're so willing to show this stuff to our children who fucking have to work hard enough now just to be successful, to learn, to go to school where they're not disrupted by some idiot in class who doesn't listen, who's obnoxious, who challenges the teacher, who ignores the teacher, smokes in class, talks in class, walks around. I've experienced it with my child. You go to a private school, maybe it's not that way. You go to any public schools anymore, for the most part, dude, the teachers are failing. And the kids are, there's a percentage of children that are breaking the system. And if you don't know that, you're out of touch. And you're lucky, because you're not dealing with this shit. So, I'm sad about all this. And I sort of saw it, and I don't know, maybe I'll watch it. She's pretty popular. She's a pretty big star. She's a model. She was some kind of singer. She's been on big shows. She's like, one of these up-and-coming in Hollywood superstars they're trying to groom. And I sort of hope this fucking thing fails. I hope it just turns into nothing. Because this isn't the kind of shit that, other than maybe a documentary, should be on TV. And hopefully somebody goes, well, watch this. I hope you learn a lesson. I hope you guys figure this out. But it's not anymore. Everything's politically correct where we understand your pain. We know where you're at. We know you're struggling out there. Everyone's struggling out there. Your sexuality, your religion, your ethnicity. It's this total pendulum where everybody's issue has relevance. And everybody's issue should have some relevance, but unfortunately, there's some people with issues that nobody knows and nobody gives a fuck about. And they suffer and die. And that's a part of life, man. You can't save the world. You gotta save yourself. And then participate in the world. And figure out your role, how you make it better, how you interact with your counterparts in society, in your age group, at work, in your relationships, in your friendships, everywhere. But you're first. You have to define yourself with those things that you think are the best, that you're going to be able to share. And of course there's ups and downs, and we all make mistakes, and hopefully you come back. But it's just so broken anymore, so I wanted to put this out there. I'm finding it more and more challenging. And my 15-year-old will watch this shit and think it's real, and I'm like, bro, you gotta get up in the morning, and he does, and go to work, and he does. And you know what? It's a slog so that you can eat, so that you can pay bills, so that you can have a girlfriend, have a boyfriend, have a baby, buy a car, take up a hobby, become a craftsman, teach people how to do something, learn a new skill, learn a new language, travel and see other people, share experiences, experience other cultures, other societies, grow, learn. Doesn't seem to be a trend anymore. It's that me trend of consume, 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 and fuck all of you. Nihilism. Nothing else matters. There is nothing. I'm blazing. Fuck it all. it's the weirdest thing, and I don't get it, and it makes me sad. I hope this fucking thing fails, because it's not what I want my kids to watch. Even when they're grown up and they've formulated beliefs and they understand the context and they know that it's lies, that everybody doesn't roll around fucked up all the time, committing suicide, hanging out with transsexual individuals and bisexual individuals and taking drugs and having sex parties and interesting events that go on, and somehow there's money in their pocket, and somehow they have nice clothes, and somehow Uber or Lyft or something, I guess, they get around because they have no fucking human skills. They don't go to school. They don't learn. Well, you know what? That part of life isn't exciting. That part of life is real, man. That's life. You can't just portray the fantasy and say, this is gripping. It's horseshit. So, I'm done waxing poetically. Euphoria, it's out there. I'm going to title this thing. I don't know. I'm going to watch some of it. I think I'll be able to stream like the first 4 episodes. There's snippets on YouTube. I'm not saying it's probably not a great Hollywood production, right? I've never seen Game of Thrones. I never watched Sopranos. I've never seen Breaking Bad. I've never seen Californication or Weed. I don't watch that stuff, man. It's lies. It's a story that someone's telling. It's not real. Because when you see the real, there's no translation, man. There's no romance in life. Life is life. You can put pieces of romance in it, and you can really have that high and low, and really have an enriched world, like Tony Robbins tells everybody. You can't live that way. It's got to be steady, stable, constant. That's how we have harmony as humans. I don't know why people don't make shit about that. I'm sure they do. You know what it's on? It's on PBS. It's on channel 1106 that no motherfucker ever watches. 6 old people watch PBS and read the Reader's Digest, which is a bummer. But Euphoria, it's got Zendaya in it, she's Rue, and it's this new teen series, and it's probably crap, and I'm sure it's going to erupt and everybody's going to just yap how great it is because of all the rampant sex, the drug use, the challenging teen issues of today, sexting and cyberbullying and suicides and hookups and dating apps and location tracking and vaping and blah blah blah. Fuck everything outside of reality. So my perspective, comment, like, subscribe, share. I just wanted to get this out there. This is a little longer than I wanted, but fucking A, dude. I could probably do 3 hours on it. I wrote like 4 or 5 pages of stuff. It spewed out of my head because I'm rather disturbed. I'm upset about this crap. I'm sort of sick of it. Hashtag Me Too and fucking Harvey Weinstein and all these movements. It's nothing. When the machine is money, that machine just morphs. It just mutates. It don't go away, man. People die for that stuff. So, like I said, comment, like, share, subscribe. I hope you watch this. Spend some time on the topic. Especially if you're younger and you got kids, or if you're older like me and you got kids, and try to eyeball this stuff. I mean, tough nowadays. Remember our parents? I wouldn't want to be a kid during your time growing up. Dude, kids during this time have the greatest ever. This is the richest, greatest period in history. And because of that, they're making shows like this that glorify garbage. They glorify waste and loss and idiocy. And they glorify entertainment. They glorify social activities instead of the reality of hard work, strife, challenge, loss, growth, being able to stand back up, fighting through, trying harder. We've lost that message. That's what make America great. That's what Trump's always said. Work harder. That's what Elon Musk says. Buckle up. Nobody wants to hear it. And everybody goes, you work when you are. Where do you think achievement comes from? My old boss, man, my old friend, my old mentor. Wish in one hand, shit in another. You got the same thing. Nothing. So, not what I want my kids to watch. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting. Let me know. Another installment of Dave Duai Show. Out.